to the interview room. Muzzy checking in, the time's here. How you all doing? Alright, let's begin. Let's have a chat about the fact that I wanna interview the best fighters in the world, and that's that. Had a lot of guests from everywhere, all across the globe. Fighters tell me about the journeys, training, fighting on the road. It's Muay Thai, get it straight. Here to show respect to great fighters around the world. Ask questions and investigate the lives of great warriors, revered and notorious, infamous and...
Yo, what's going on? Eddie, how are you, mate? It was good to catch up with you briefly last week at Domination. How's it been?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on.
Nah, all good, mate. Let's have a quick recap of Domination. Last week, you guys at Riddler's probably always have the most amount of fighters fighting on the show. Seen all you guys out the back, needed all the hands on deck you guys could get. So how many fighters did you guys actually have on the development show and the pro show?
I'm pretty sure it was 10 altogether. So yeah, it was a pretty good night. I think we got about seven wins, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you guys always out in massive forces. Probably the biggest, most active fighting gym in WA at the moment. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, big solid team down here.
Roughly how many active fighters do you think you guys have got from amateurs to pros?
Well, there'd be quite a few. I reckon maybe 20, maybe even more. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, it's pretty solid team.
Yeah, because you've been at Riddler's for quite a while now. How long have you been training, and how did you get into Muay Thai?
Been training for about 10 years, maybe even a bit more. But yeah, I used to play AFL, Aussie Rules footy, and I was just looking for something to do in pre-season. And then one year my footy team didn't have a team, so I ended up just sticking with Muay Thai.
And the rest, they say, is history. Was Riddler's the first? Is that the only gym you've been at?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time, man. It's been good. Yeah,
nice. You would have seen quite a lot of people come and go throughout that time. Familiar faces, old faces, new faces.
Yeah. Seen a lot of people come through. A lot of people go. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, because you run PTs out of the gym. How long have you been doing that for? And as a trainer or coach, what's the biggest rewards that you get out of it?
I've been doing that for about 3 years now. The biggest reward would probably be seeing your work that you put in someone else, see them put it in place as well.
Yeah.
Probably the effort, reward, and all things like that. Especially like with the Muay Thai side, seeing people put my work into their training, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, get that buzz, seeing, and then they get that when they seeing the look on their faces as well, when they're like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, it's the best reward by miles.
And how long after you started training did you realise that you wanted to have a fight?
Well, I was always like a pretty competitive person, so I didn't like realise straight away. I loved the training, and then I did my first class in intermediates, and that was the first time I sparred, and I didn't even do good. I actually was partnered up with a girl, and got schooled, and I went home and I was like, I don't know, like that was sick. I just like fell in love with it. I knew it was what I wanted to do, and then I stuck with it. Here I am now. Because
how many fights have you had all up? You've had quite a few. I want to say over 30.
I've had 26 now.
Oh, close. There you go, 26. Okay, sorry about that. Almost 30. Close.
Yeah, soon I'll be on 30.
You've been an active fighter in the Aussie Muay Thai scene for quite some time now. What do you reckon the key is to your longevity and success in the sport?
Just training hard, putting in all the 1% efforts, and staying pretty fit all the time, and not turning down fights, and always learning, and just grinding all the time.
Because from when you first started fighting to now, how have you seen the Muay Thai scene change in Australia and in particular WA?
Well, there's definitely like a lot more fighters, a lot more shows, and a lot more people especially in WA, they get to come through because most of the flights now, they've got a lot of padding, and the fighters get a taste of of fighting without jumping into the deep end straight away.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like a good thing for them. And there's just a lot more fighters around and a lot more shows.
See, when you first started, did you ever have to wear pads, or have you always
Yeah,
fought no pads?
I fought. So just before I fought, all the commission and all that stuff came together.
Yep.
So I fought, first fight was just shin pads and headgear, and then later on, it got a bit more strict with all the elbow pads and the chest guards as well. But like when I started watching fights, I'm pretty sure it was just shin guards, no headgear.
You see how you said you didn't wear elbow pads? Was back in, because it was back in the day, was that actually a mod tie, or was
Yeah,
that a Muay Thai just with no elbow pads?
it was modified Thai, which is what they used to do before the elbow pads came in.
Yeah, and for the people that might not understand, especially the newcomers coming in now, how different and weird is it fighting when you don't have to worry about elbows, as opposed to when you're using elbows, you've got to worry about getting cut.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a game changer. Like when they got the elbow pads on, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And once they're and say you're in the clinch or something, and you don't tie your opponent up and you cop one, it's a bit of a wake up call. So that's probably a pretty big difference.
Yeah, yeah, and one thing I am keen to chat with you about, like we talked about, you've been in the sport for a while. Up until your fight with Duke from Bailey's back in November of last year, you were riding a pretty big winning streak. Even though you didn't win that fight, what positives did you take away from that?
I was actually pretty happy that I drew him in the 4-man, because he was the most experienced guy, and I wanted a bit of a step up as well. So that was a good thing. And it's just really good getting to share the ring with someone that's had that much experience, and knowing that my next opponent was probably not going to be anywhere near as good as him
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Would you say that Duke, is he the hardest fight you've had to date?
Is definitely the hardest hitter and the hardest to hit by miles. Like
Yeah.
especially his leg kicks they were something else. I've never been hit like that before.
I remember we were chatting about that at one of the last shows, and you were like, "Oh, I'm glad that it was only that the round finished, because if he kicked you a couple more times, you're wondering how many more kicks he would have taken until he may have got you, but he didn't get to
Yeah, for
didn't
sure.
get to get in there."
Yeah, he smashed my back leg up pretty good. Lucky you couldn't see the expression on my face. Otherwise, I reckon I probably would have been in a bit of trouble.
Nah, that's why it's good, Eddie. You got a great poker
Yeah,
face, dude.
yeah, good. It's definitely good.
What was? How many fights had you, or what fight winning streak were you on up until that point?
It was about 5 or 6 fights, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because was your fight before that one? Was that the one? When did you win your state title against
Uh,
Joe?
so, yeah, that was the fight before Duke.
Yeah, that's right. And then, so can you remember off the top of your head, like the last six up until Duke, your winning streak of who your opponents were?
I fought so it started in Adelaide. I fought Adam Price, and then I fought uh, Puck from Bailey's as well,
Yep.
and then Leo, um, Gary Cairns, and Joe McCoy. Yeah, so it was five in a row.
That's right. I remember now you fought Gary for his retirement fight on the use of the main event on the development card.
Yep, yep.
That's right. Coming out to 50 Cent. Don't worry about it. I remember your walkout tune. What I'm keen to have a little chat with you about is your style. It's very fast paced from start to finish. You like to get in, get out. You're not a sitting duck, so to speak, and you have a lot of success, especially when you double and triple up your kicks. Who do you credit into molding your style, because it's a lot different from a lot of the other fighters at Riddlers?
Probably be a combination of people. Obviously, Daz taught me from beginners through the intermediates through the fighters.
Yep.
And earlier on, I had Chris Tiger White that trained me most of the time. So he taught me the good Thai style, being evasive and landing the last shot. And also Dan Skinner, he's come through. He came through after Tiger. Just his pad holding it's very interactive. It's like sparring, so that made me a bit more sharper.
Yeah.
I remember, one night Dan kept tagging me and it was pissed me off. And then I was like, if he hits me, I'm gonna hit him back, and it just made me super sharp. And a combination of all them three trainers, all the drills Daz does with us before we start our sparring, and then just me taking out, putting 1% effort in myself and figuring out what worked good for me. So it's obviously a combination of all them three, and then me putting the work in myself.
Yeah. Okay. And do you guys, or okay, do you in particular, do you have your own sort of favorite pad holder, or do you all just everyone holds for each other?
So we've got the three main pad holders when we're fighting. We've got Daz, Dylan, and Dan Skinner.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't say they've all got their perks. They're all good for all their different things, and there's not one that's better than the other, if that makes sense. Like Dan's good for his action.
Yep.
Daz is like pretty busy, and Dylan likes the Thai style.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool as well.
Have you got one person in particular in which you gel with? You know how sometimes like you've got really good pad holders, but people just gel with certain styles?
Probably me and Daz, I'd say. But then, yeah.
And what about your strength and conditioning? What sort of stuff do you do? Because you've got a very, very fast pace that you set from your fights from start to finish. So I'd imagine you'd have to, have a pretty good strength and conditioning program to maintain that cardio.
Yep. Well, most of my strength training and all my other training has just come from, obviously I learned it from being at Riddler's and joining the classes and watching everyone around me. And then most of it came from like trial and error with my own training.
Yep.
And figuring out what works good for Muay Thai and specific training, and then putting my own twist on it.
Yep.
And I've got my own little things that I do in the morning, and when I don't have a fight booked, I'll do certain things that are going to make me stronger in certain areas, and just go from there, really.
What's and I mean this in a good way. What's the one exercise or the exercises that you hate doing the most because they just suck?
Well, there's a few. Pretty much it all sucks, which is why we do it. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is probably the main thing. So like making myself tired and carrying a heavy dead ball or something like that, or carrying something heavy.
Yeah.
When I'm gassed out is probably the thing that sucks the most, but the thing that I need to do the most.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. As a personal trainer, do you, say if you're helping people having their first couple of fights, do you have like a set program that you would give for fighters that are fighting, or do you guys tailor it to their each individual needs? Like say if you've got someone doing 3 2-minute rounds, but you've got say 3 or 4 people doing the exact same, but they're all different weights, would you do different programs for, depending on their body sizes and their shapes, or is it all tailored to one?
Do you mean like with the strength and conditioning and all that stuff?
Yeah, with strength and conditioning for fighters.
It's all like pretty like similar for everyone.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah.
But obviously, it depends on the person's gym experience of what you would give them. Because some people could be doing Muay Thai and they've never lifted weights before, and you can have someone who's a fighter and has been smashing strength and conditioning for 5 years and they're already pretty experienced.
Yeah.
So just
and one thing I've noticed when I watch you fight is more often than not, your opponents are naturally bigger than you. Have you ever considered going down in weight? I mean, not that it seems to bother you at all. You have a lot of success at your weight division.
No, 63.5 is perfect for me. I don't think I could really go lower.
Yep.
Yeah, it's perfect. 63.5 is fine. I mean, if they're bigger than me, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm pretty strong myself. I can handle it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, and obviously I'm pretty short as well. So the height difference, things don't matter. Like, I'm pretty used to that.
I was going to say, have you ever actually fought someone where you're taller or even same height?
I think I did back when I was still in pads. I fought someone smaller than me, and I think when I fought Puck as well, yeah, on futures a couple of years ago, he was smaller than me, so that was pretty good. It was weird, but
Yeah.
it was good.
Because I was going to say, you fighting taller guys, and that wouldn't bother you because that's just every fight for you, basically.
Yeah.
And now I'm keen to have a little chat about your next fight coming up in on the 5th of June on Muay Thai Grand Prix against the young and very hungry Nathan Embleton. He's fast gaining momentum with some impressive wins. What's your thoughts on him, and what can we expect from you in this fight?
Yeah, he's pretty different, pretty aggressive. Likes to throw down a lot.
Yep.
Has a big gas tank. So yeah, what you see from me is I'm just gonna be myself. Fight my normal style, and obviously I've got other things to work on. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it because I know it's going to be hard. It will be a hard one for sure because Nathan just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Had a lot of people last week coming up to me saying, "I hope you're fit. I hope you're fit." I said, "No, I'm actually looking forward to it. It'll be good. Fast pace from start to finish. 5 threes.
Oh, so it's over 3 rounds. Yep. Five threes. Oh, did you say 5 threes or 3 threes?
5 threes.
Oh, so that's 5 rounds. That's delightful.
Mm.
That's gardeners. That's glorious. Have you preparing for Nathan? Have you done anything, or are you doing anything different training wise, as opposed to other fighters, knowing that he does have a pretty big, ridiculous gas tank? But you've got a gas tank yourself.
Yeah, there's a few things I've done different, but I always train pretty hard anyway, and always push myself. So it's not much different. There's a few different things I've done, as in the Muay Thai side of things.
Yep.
But with my other training, my strength training, and all my cardio and stuff, it's been pretty similar.
And I know you're not looking past, obviously, what's ahead of you. Do you have anything lined up on the horizon fight-wise at all?
I'm going to Adelaide July 24th. Yeah, over on, I think it's Pride Fight Series.
Yep.
And I'm up against Nick. I'm not sure about his last name, Kiros or something like that.
Is he from South Australia?
Yeah, he's from South Australia.
Yeah. Let's hope no more cases come in and it doesn't ruin everything again, and that it does happen for you.
Hopefully not. That'll be the second time. Supposed to go to Sydney last year as well.
Oh, really? What was that? Was that on Siam to Sydney?
Yeah, it was.
Was that on? Was that the one where Tyler was meant to fight Singh?
Yeah, yep.
Hey, well, I've got you. McVicker versus Singh. That's a wicked fight. How do you? What's your thoughts on that? That's
actually a good one. Like, Singh's pretty skillful, and Max is pretty skillful as well. I think I'm actually pretty stuck. I was thinking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a real good show of Thai style skill.
Yeah.
And it's good for Muay Thai.
Oh yeah, Darius and Nicola and Gav have done a really good job with this card. I'm really amped about this card. It's a stacked card. You got yourself fighting on it as well, so it's going to be epic, man. Look, before I let you head and enjoy the rest of your weekend, if people want to follow you, contact you, have you got like a Facebook page or Instagram, all that good stuff?
Yep. Yeah, I've got my personal Instagram. It's just Eddy Duva, and then I've got my work one as well. It's Eddy Duva PT. So if anyone wants to follow me on that, yeah, they're welcome to follow me on both.
Yeah, wicked, man. And last but not least, anyone that you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Well, obviously, all my trainers, so Daz, Dan, Dylan, all the Riddler's crew at training, and thanks to you for having me on.
No, Eddy, thanks for taking time out of your weekend, man, to have a chat with me. I'm absolutely pumped to see your fight with Nathan as with the rest of the Muay Thai Grand Prix card. It's gonna be absolutely stacked, man. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and thank you very much for your time, dude.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, brother.
So you can answer and explain to me the history. I had to throw a vicious knee. I got a passion for the art of 8 limbs. I'm just asking from the heart. So as I conclude this interview, thanks so much for sitting through. Loved all the fighters and the folks that listen, this for you.